Hey you guys, my name is Jesse Thomas. I'm that kid that won Wildflower last year in the Walgreens Aviators, and I am here at in my hometown of Eugene, Oregon, at one of my favorite sponsors, my original sponsor, Rolf Prima Wheels. And what we're going to do today is basically take you through and give you a tour of their brand new facility down here in downtown Eugene, and show you how some of the wheels are built, see some of the design guys, talk to a couple other people in there, and basically show you what is awesome about Rolf Prima. All right, here we go.
Hey Jesse. How you doing?
Doing well. You want to show me what you're working on here, Joel?
Well, what I'm working on is actually some old product here, cleaning up the drawings, but let me show you something else that we were doing with that. This is a FEA study of
finite element analysis.
That's very good. Yes.
No, harkening back to my engineering days.
You are an engineer.
I was.
You were an engineer. How do you actually not become not an engineer anymore?
I don't know. Actually, Brian Roddy gave me the term. Brian, the owner here, gave me the term recovering engineer. So I think I'll use that one as well.
Right? Is it triathlon that just kind of pushes that?
Yeah, exactly. Put it away for a little while. Come back to it maybe someday.
So this is just a simple model that I put together based on rim profile that we're working on. And I'm loading the rim with, actually just loading a section of the rim because we have a repeating pattern around the rim. You can see this is a rear wheel here, so you can see that one of those spoke holes is a little higher stress than the other. So I've got the angles that those loads are going off at, and we can look at very small changes to the rim profile and how they affect the max stress. And that's where we do a lot of testing on these wheels and on the rims before we release them into production.
Okay, cool.
You want to see the test?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah. Let's check out the gigantic spinning yellow thing.
This is our drum tester. We had this custom built so that we could abuse wheels in a repeatable fashion. So this simulates a lifetime of wear and tear, normal riding on a wheel within a couple of weeks.
Wow.
So what it does is we've got a few wheel positions here, and the system loads each one of the wheels at the axle with a very high load. We can change that load.
Okay.
The drum spins very fast. We can run this up to 50 miles an hour.
Wow.
And each one of the wheel positions, there's a bump. That's 3/8 of an inch. Yep. And so when we get that up and spinning, it's just humming along. It's just
wow.
So what we look for is any kind of weakness in the rim, in the spokes, or in the hub.
Well, I was gonna say, I mean, whatever they're doing here is working well, because honestly, I've been riding on a pair of these guys for the last year and a half, and I always bend the crap out of my wheels because I'm a fairly bigger rider. And those things are still true and as straight as they have been the first day that I got them.
Nice.
And I've been riding them like crazy, so that's a legitimate endorsement. The stress testing and keeping the the wheel true and everything, that's obviously super important. But one thing that I know every triathlete freaks out about, the most important thing to them on their bike gear is aerodynamics. And so what do you guys do in terms of your aerodynamic testing?
Well, that's one of the key performance tests we do, because the aerodynamics, especially in triathlon and a time trial style event, are key to how fast the wheel is. We do a lot of wind tunnel testing on our wheels from the initial development point through the final prototypes, and then we verify those that aerodynamic data against our previous models and benchmark against competitors' models as well.
Very cool. We talked to Joel at engineering, and he showed us this awesome testing stuff and the aerodynamic testing. Now let's go harass the guys at the production side. Okay, we're here with Brian Roddy. Brian is the owner and president of Rolf Prima. Brian and I met about 2 years ago through some local tri-community stuff, tri-club stuff here in Eugene. He got me originally interested in Rolf, and he's been a great resource for me so far. And he's going to take us through how they build, and what makes some of their wheels special.
Excellent, we'll do it. So first thing, it's kind of like if if you make anything good, you need to start with good ingredients. So we've been working with White Industries for about 7 or 8 years now. So they're down in Petaluma, California. Great company. They CNC make everything. So we start off, to make this hub, it starts off as a bar of aluminum, and everything is just cut away to make the hub to our design. CNC aluminum hub shells, CNC titanium free hub bodies. About no one uses titanium for the free hub body, just because it's an expensive material. But when you're putting that much power into your cassette, you're really cranking with steel cogs. Titanium is way better than aluminum. And these hubs are bomb-proof. They custom make everything for us. We've been working with Sapim for 10 years now. And the nice thing about Sapim is, it's a great Belgian company. They draw all their spokes. So they do it all custom for us. So we can get a spoke that is, not just the exact length, but they'll actually adjust the butts to meet where our spokes cross, so we can get the crosses in the right areas. They also do small things, like, I don't know if you can see this here, but we put a wrench flat on the end of our round spokes, so we can hold it so the spoke doesn't wind up. I don't know if you ever had a wheel where you start to ride it and you hear like a ping sound. Yeah. And it's usually your spoke's unwinding. So if you true your wheel, sometimes it winds up the spoke. But Sapim forges that flat into it so we can hold it. So first, we put all the spokes in the hub and attach the spokes to the rim, but it's really how you tighten up the spokes that really make the difference. One of the things you can get with a hand-built wheel, it's a little harder to get with the machine-built wheels. We can really be exacting with the tensions. So what we do here is we use these dial indicator gauges to measure the radial runout. People call it hop or roundness, and also to do the lateral runout. So you can spin a wheel and kind of get an idea of how far out it is. Now,
so lateral runout is how much it goes side to side.
Yeah, sorry. Some people call that wobble or something like that. But so you see on the gauge, it kind of looks like it's a big deal on the gauge. Yeah. And the gauge accentuates it, so you can really see the difference. If you look at it relative to the drag bars, like what most people would true it, I mean, this thing is
dead on.
Yeah, dead on. So what we'll do is, we were talking about that wrench flat on the spokes. So what we can do is we can hold it with a spoke vise. So then when we're tightening it, we can hold on to it, keep the spoke from spinning, so make our adjustment from the inside with our internal nipples. When we're building a wheel, we build it 3 times. So we'll build this up to full tension, full true. We make sure the dish is correct. Pretty much it's a done wheel. But then we apply what we call the stressor to it. So we apply a stressing load to seat everything. So actually, let's go check out the stressor.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do with this is we hold the rim on the table and then apply the load to the hub. And the whole idea there is that it's going to stretch all the parts. So the nipples will seat into the rim, the spokes will kind of bend a little bit and form to the hub, and then the spokes stretch just a little bit. But the idea is that we basically do the break-in period, so to speak, while we're building it to the wheel. We'll do it on both sides. But watch how far down the hub goes. So these tensions up here get a little bit higher, and these get lower as this stretches. And then we'll do it on the other side too, just to make sure it's even. And we'll do this 2 times during the build process. So the first time we do it, the tension's going to go down, maybe about 40% or so. Right. And then the second time that we do it, the tension goes down a little bit less. Yep. If we did a third time, which we don't, but if we did, the tension wouldn't change at all because everything's perfectly seated. Okay. I'll grab the glasses for you.
Possible to ruin a set of wheels by putting the decal in the wrong spot? I will do that. I think I already messed up. I don't know where I'm supposed to put this.
Alright, so what you do is you line it up here so you get the center. The center mark goes in the center between this span here.
Oh, okay. Now I go off of what?
So there's a center mark.
I was paying really close attention to the last one.
Alright,
there's a center mark in the sticker.
The center mark
that
right
goes
there.
Right there.
The center mark matches up the line. So what you're trying to do
I do center mark to center mark.
Yep.
Aha. That makes way too much sense. Alright.
Don't confuse them.
Yeah. I'm easily confused at this point. Really lucky for Rolf Prima that I don't build their wheels, because they would make like 2 sets of wheels a year.
Oh man, this is not looking good.
Come on, Jesse. I've got all my childhood nightmares of messing up in arts and crafts coming back to me right now. There we go. I think that one's good.
Oh yeah,
That one's ready. Is that good?
Yeah, actually that's solid.
All right, cool.
we'll take the wheel over to QC, and Larry can show us what he goes through at the final step.
All right.
Kind of like the final check, make sure everything's done correctly. Looks like this decal could use a little bit of work, but I understand you're kind of new at it.
Yeah, that's an ugly one. That one's definitely not going to make it past Larry.
So we'll probably have to correct this decal. But, other than that, the process is we'll check the tensions, dish of the wheel, any cosmetic flaws that might have not passed before it got to me. We box them up. Either they go into inventory or we ship them out to customers around the world.
Cool. So that's basically it. We saw Rolf Prima's new awesome Eugene headquarters, and we met a couple guys at Rolf, some designers making some awesome stuff, production guys. These guys make top-notch product here in the US, and so I would strongly encourage you to look into all the awesome wheels that they have to offer.